Hey, this is Derek from the Aquanut Podcast, and today I have the pleasure of having Andrea on with us. Andrea, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I own a service company. I service and maintain swimming pools, and I help Derek run his homeowner group.
Help? You practically run that thing. So we do have a live studio audience, so if you hear background noise, that's what that is.
Help, let me out. They have me here bound up in the closet.
Oh my God. There's been mentions of roofies and all kind of things. So to ease into this, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, I like to go to the Keys, so anytime I get the chance for that, and that's pretty much it. Just go to the Keys, beach.
You're significantly closer to the Keys than I am.
Yes.
Matter of fact, when I want to have fun, I actually fly here. We're in Florida, for people who don't know. We're in Florida filming this podcast. So I come to Florida, and that's how I have fun. Well, get away from the minutia of running a large pool and spa business.
And snow, right?
We had just like a little bit of snow, like only enough to make like an 8-inch high snowman, and I called that my South Carolina snowman. He was he didn't last long. He was here today, gone tomorrow type of deal.
I haven't seen snow in like 20 years, so.
Oh my God! Now you're just bragging. All right. So the question I always ask everybody: if you were going to be a superhero, which one would you be and why?
Oh man, I don't. I guess I'll go basic and be like Wonder Woman, but all those, I don't know, have no reason why, because I don't really. Sorry, not into the superhero world, I guess.
No, not everybody is.
My daughter is. She loves Avengers. She likes Thanos, so I don't know.
How many kids do you have?
2.
2 kids? Both girls or one boy?
Boy and a girl.
I knew you had a girl, because hasn't she helped you out on the pool route?
Yes, yeah. Well, they both have. My son's pretty good with the riptide, actually, and then my daughter is actually really good with her tailor kit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you can bring them both, and you can just kind of sit back and supervise.
Pretty much, yeah. When I bring my son, he's almost 16, so sometimes I can even let him drive. And then he takes the riptide, he goes around, and then I get to touch up things that I don't normally get to do if I'm trying to rush through things by myself.
Okay. What are, from a pool service tech, what are some of the myths that you see out there, or even if you hear in our pool and spa owners group?
Well, the big thing that Rudy mentioned before was the magic eraser. Don't ever put those in pools. There's no need to. Other myths, I don't know, just nothing's coming to mind right now, but.
Well, the magic eraser, that's kind of the big one. And you did a article on that. You did a test on that. I think you have it like in a mason jar. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so I took a bunch of mason jars, and I picked out green pools, pools that had algae, and I put magic eraser. I took one that was really bad. It was a fountain. You couldn't even see the bottom. So I scooped up the green water. I put a magic eraser in there. Had like distilled water. I tried to do it super scientifically. Turns out the water that I soaked, I had a regular distilled water that I put the magic eraser in. I can use that water to test for cyanuric acid in the pool. Like I can use the water that's soaked in the magic eraser as my number 13 reagent, if that makes sense.
It doesn't. Can you explain it?
The melamine soaks into the water. So basically, like when you have, they say you're not supposed to put plastic water bottles in the freezer because the chemicals will leach into the water. Same thing. The melamine from the sponge leached into the water in my mason jar.
During the summer, it's hot when I'm out cleaning pools, so I put water bottles in the freezer all the time. Am I going to die?
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that.
Okay. Huh. All right. We have learned that water bottles are sexist, and you shouldn't put them in the freezer. I did not know that, so I'm going to change my habits from
Wow.
here on out. What was the magazine that your article was published in?
That was in Pool and Spa News. Nate Traylor had written like a complete article, and he just featured my experiment, and so I didn't actually write the article.
Oh, okay. That happens to me.
Yeah, but you can Google my name and magic eraser, and it comes right up.
So,
which is cool.
So people shouldn't put magic erasers in their pool?
No, they stay in the filter. They, like I said, they affect the chemistry in that they introduce melamine into the water. And when you have melamine introduced into water with that already contains cyanuric acid, that's when you get the toxic byproduct of those two chemicals, which is melamine cyanurate.
Gotcha. Here's one. You are in Florida. You guys have a lot of pools that have screened-in enclosures.
That's correct.
Is that the name of those?
Yeah, screen enclosures, cages, people call them. I just say screen pools.
Okay. Is there something that a service tech or a homeowner should do to keep those maintenance? And I ask because I've only seen one in my area because
Really?
we have zero in my whole state.
Yeah, I know that they're not really common in other states other than Florida. So if you do have a screen enclosure, you want to make sure, and I wrote an article about this on my blog too, which you can find, but you are supposed to at least pressure clean the screens every once in a while because the dirt, pollen, all that stuff builds up and it sits on the top of it. And then when it rains, it washes right into the pool and you have almost like a tea effect. It all just sinks in there and sits. Then you have to vacuum extra and all this other stuff. So periodically pressure washing the screens, making sure they're all intact too, because people have the panels pop out and then the wind blows and just, it's almost like you don't even have one.
So we have that happen in my area. Not many people close, but some people do, and they put the mesh safety covers on, which is fine. You shouldn't close your pool if you're in the South Carolina or, that far south of the Mason-Dixon line. But the leaves will fall. They'll sit on top of the cover. Nobody will take the leaves off, and it's like a big tea bag. You open it up, and the pool's brown.
Brown, yeah.
So the Florida area, hurricanes happen. Mm-hmm. I've heard you say that people will go out and cut the screens for some reason.
Yeah, so apparently, well, this all is due to, and in my blog posts, actually, I got a screen guy to write a blog for me too, so he goes into super detail on that. But basically, the reason they do that is because they think that the screen panel is going to act like a parachute or an umbrella, either one, and tear the whole enclosure away from the house, possibly even damage the house. So they will cut the screen panels themselves. I actually had a customer, or actually it was my mother's customer, slashed every single panel in their screen, like 8, 12 feet, high, whatever. But they are designed now and built now so that they do not do that. So there's no reason to slash your $1,600 screen panels for no reason.
So that's what it cost them, $1,600.
That was like a guesstimate price, but yeah, they're pretty expensive.
All right, so we're in the hurricane vein, and you're in Hurricane Alley, basically. What should a homeowner or a service tech do to prep a pool for the hurricane season?
Basically, is you want to double up on the chlorine. All the other chemicals are going to get messed up with the rain, the wind, anything that gets in the pool. Your pH is going to be affected, all of that stuff. It's better to just try and keep the pool super chlorinated to stop anything from blooming or growing in there, and then rebalance it later. Definitely never put your patio furniture in the pool, and also don't slash the screens. And don't drain the pool, ever, because then you have a risk of the pool popping up out of the ground, which we like to warn people of.
That has been the biggest thing that I've been talking about for the past month, because in my area it has been super rainy.
Here too.
So-
Here too, and I keep getting people asking me if they can drain their pools. Don't drain your pools. You're just going to accentuate the risk by adding more to the groundwater, even if it's draining away. I've seen people have pools pop up with just a few inches or a few feet that they drain, and really, like, it does not make sense to go out during a storm to drain 4 inches of water. It does not make sense to me, anyway.
Congratulations.
Sweet. Thank you.
Going out during a hurricane
Or any storm.
or
really.
any storm to drain 4 inches out of the pool,
Just let it overflow.
it's kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can get struck by lightning, a tree could fall on you, who knows?
Have you personally seen any pools pop out of the ground?
No, I have not, but I've seen other things like patio sinking and all kinds of chaos from lots and lots of rain. Actually, in Florida, we have, in our cemeteries, we put big, huge concrete slabs over them because the coffins will pop up out of the ground.
Oh, nice.
Yes, fun fact.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Huh? Yeah.
The next idea for Rudy's book, you just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Royalties? Okay. Rolling right into that. Hurricanes happened. Pools trashed. What's the cleanup?
The cleanup is going to be to just remove everything that you can see if the pool is still clear. Obviously, be careful if there's a screen enclosure in your pool or any kind of electrical issues. You want to make sure that if your equipment is in danger of flooding, go ahead and shut it off. Otherwise, it's not really necessary to shut it off unless it's going to flood. I just repeated myself. Sorry.
That's perfectly fine. We repeat ourselves all the time, especially don't drain your pool. We say that so many times it's not even funny. So during the cleanup process, number one, I guess you want to remove all the debris, leaves, limbs,
Trees, people,
trees.
alligators.
That baffles my mind. You go out to clean a pool and an alligator there, and be like, nope, I'll see you next week. That's not in my job description.
No.
Alligators. But you like snakes, though.
Yes, I love snakes.
Which-
It's my favorite thing.
Getting snakes out of a pool.
Well, I make it a point to know the species of snake, so I know if it's gonna be scary if it bites me. But honestly, a cat bite, like a cat biting you or scratching you, is much, much worse than a snake biting you. But it's a good idea to know what kind of snake it is before you attempt to touch it. But I just pull them right out of the water. They don't bother me.
That is a skill. I call it a nope rope. So when I see a snake, I go in the opposite direction.
You gotta get it out of the water.
Yeah.
You use your net.
Sometimes, most of the time, they're in the skimmer, and I made it a point to wear gloves because I've stuck my bare hand in a skimmer full of leaves, and I started pulling it out, and I saw the belly of a snake roll over my wrist.
No.
Needless to say, I had to change my pants that day. Turned out to just be a black racer, or what do you call that?
Black racer.
Black racer.
I don't know if you get those. You get those up by you? Black with a white belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-venomous, but if you see the belly of a snake rolling over your wrist, you're not really stopping to ask it questions.
Right.
Hey, are you poisonous?
And that should be rule number 1 too for any new pool techs. Look before you reach into the skimmers.
Yeah, yeah. I do that now and fiddle around with the leaves. Speaking of skimmers, you guys put chlorine tablets in your skimmers?
Never. I don't even use tabs. I don't even buy them.
You don't buy them. That is so odd. You guys use liquid, right?
I use liquid. A lot of people in my area also can't understand why I don't use tabs either. I don't like high CYA in my pools. I know in Florida people will be like, oh, well, it rains all the time and you don't have to worry about it, which is true. I had a pool that had, the test kit only goes up to 100, 150, I think. I can't remember, something like that. It was well over the range of the test kit, and it was down to 60 in about a month and a half with just the rain. So, but I don't like, there's this weird orange color when you put too many tabs in the pool. I just don't like them. Then you gotta watch TA, the alkalinity, pH, all of that stuff.
See, we use tabs a lot because number one, they're easy. Number two is liquid for us in our area is a lot more expensive than for you guys. And on top of that, our liquid comes from Florida. So there is
the degradation is going to be not as strong.
I love that word, degradation. That is correct. When it finally gets to us, and it's supposed to be, what, 12.5%. By the time it gets put in the pool, it's 10.
Or less, probably.
What about, I almost used a word that I don't like. I'm gonna say the big box stores. What if you just get like a lavender scented bleach at the big box stores? What do you think about that?
Well, that's got stuff in there that's meant for your clothes. That's not meant for pools. So as far as I'm concerned, you're just adding stuff in there that doesn't need to be, and that you're gonna have potential problems trying to combat later. And I know I had somebody using the CLR in their pool once to try to get the scale off, and it just messed up the whole chemistry of the pool. So don't put household cleaning items. Bleach and chlorine are the same thing, but like I said, they add stuff to the bleach for the clothes that's not in regular liquid chlorine.
CLR, what's that?
That's the calcium lime rust in the spray bottle.
Oh, that's the stuff that you use to get buildup off your shower heads and whatnot.
Yes.
People are putting that in their pool?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I almost threw him in the pool.
That is that's stupid. So don't do that. What are some other mistakes that you've seen either homeowners or pool techs make as far as chemistry goes, or in anything? I'll just open that up.
Well, there was that. I had a customer that had they had an automatic cleaner with the leaf canister that I guess kept floating for some reason. I don't know if there obviously air was getting in there somehow, but so they took one of the concrete donut circle things that you put around the sprinkler heads.
Ah, okay.
And zip tied it to the cleaner hose.
Did that work?
To keep it under well, yeah, it weighed it down, but then I had to play around with that crap every time I tried to empty the basket.
Huh. Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
You're teaching me all kind of weird stuff that I didn't know. But we see a lot of weird stuff in the pool and spa owners group.
Oh yeah.
Some dangerous stuff. What are like there was this one guy that attempted to post a video of him cleaning his pool just using baking soda and what was it? Dishwashing pods or like.
That rings a bell, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah, it was like he was like it's organic pods that you would use in your dishwasher.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That's so.
Yeah, no, no dishwashing liquid, no CLR. And you know what else too? Somebody posted about toilet cleaning tablets to use that you put in the toilet tank. She wanted to put them in her tab floater.
Oh my God. it's people make this difficult. It's not difficult to keep a pool clean, and I guess that they're just trying to save a few pennies, but they wind up actually causing more issues because their pool could be clear and they think it's safe.
Yeah, I've seen somebody post a picture of a perfectly, beautifully clear pool. The pH in the pool was below 6.8, which is the low range of the test kit, so it could have even been lower than that. But yeah, nothing will grow in acid water, so.
That is correct. What is your background? How did you get into the pool industry?
Well, that was all thanks to my mother. She got a job as just a regular service tech cleaning pools. I was young, like 15 or 16. And then I just I was sick of working in restaurants. And then so I just was like, hey, why don't you teach me how to do pools? And so I actually got a job at the same company where she worked at that time. She got up to be a route manager. She was never my route manager, thank God. And then she went out on her own, started her own company. I kind of did some other stuff in between then, and then I started working for her. And then that didn't work out, and then I got my own job somewhere else, and then now I started my own company after that.
What are you most excited about in the pool and spa industry right now?
I don't know. I'm actually excited about the advanced oxidation potential. What is that? AOP? The AOP? It's combining UV and ozone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yeah, that's what I'm excited about because it just seems like a lot more, less work, like less for me to bring to the pool. Like I don't have to bring liquid. The stuff is already almost like a salt pool, how the chlorine is already there in the pool. The sanitation, the oxidation is already going to be there.
So
You just have to maintain that.
So UV and ozone is not prevalent in Florida?
Not for residential, at least.
I've got a bunch of it.
Do you?
I got a bunch of it.
The only times I've seen it is if people buy the spas that already have the UV lights in them, but not the combination of the two. I haven't seen that.
FYI, you're still going to have to add chlorine every week.
Yeah. Oh well, I know that you have to keep it at a 1 at least, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot better process. I don't know.
It is a better process. I like it, but for the people listening at home or wherever you're at listening / watching this, hopefully you're not watching this while driving. Side note there, safety. I have a lot of ozone UV systems, and the important thing to note there is the UV only sanitizes the water. Well, it doesn't even, UV doesn't, UV sanitizes, ozone oxidizes. I might have those backwards, but they don't do the same thing. But it only does that while it's passing through the pump and filter system. So what a lot of people ask me is, hey, I've got this system. I don't have to add chemicals to my pool. And that is absolutely a false statement. I also have people that have, and this is kind of a point of contention for me. I get so frustrated when people get a salt system, and the person that sells them the salt system will tell them, hey, you get this salt system, you'll never have to use chemicals again. And that is not true. The only thing that a salt system does, and I say this over and over and over again, people are probably tired of hearing me say this, the only thing that a salt system does is it adds chlorine to your pool. You still have to maintain all of the other levels, the calcium, the CYA, you have to maintain the chlorine, make sure that it is right, because if you have a high bather load, because that salt system will only put out a certain amount of chlorine per 24-hour time period, it doesn't take into account you have a party, you got a bunch of kids. I once had a homeowner have 100 eighth graders
Wow.
in her backyard. So I was terrified. I'm like, I've got to ramp up the chlorine level. I was like, there's going to be kids taking leaks in this pool and bringing all kinds of
Zeroing out your
bodily
pH.
Oh my God, it was bad. But yeah, with all of those systems and talking about those, the ionizers are no different. Ionizers are that's simply an algicide that gets put into your pool. It doesn't sanitize and it doesn't oxidize. So an ionizer is neither an oxidizer or a sanitizer. It just kind of helps keep some of the algae out of the water. And a clear pool is not necessarily a safe pool. On the opposite side of that, a cloudy pool, not necessarily an unsafe pool. You don't want it to be cloudy. You don't want it to be green, because if somebody falls in and you can't see them, that becomes a safety issue.
Right.
Do you guys in your Florida market, now you got the screened in thing around pools? Is there, that, and that's one level, of protection of against accidental drowning. What are some of the other safety things that you see in the Florida market? Because I know there's a lot of Florida people going to be watching this.
Well, I'm not 100% clear on the whole legality of it, but I know that it is required that you have at least one of the or is it two? Or I think they're changing it to two. Right now it's one. You have to have either an alarm, a fence, or what's the third thing? Alarms and fences. I don't know. There was a third thing. But yeah, you have to have a fence. So you have to either have a fence around the yard, or you have to have the safety barrier, the actual safety child fence. It's not what it's called, but around the pool. So that's required. Nobody really does alarms. I think, like I said, they're changing that law, or they're attempting to.
Okay. What can a homeowner do to help you out, or help a service pro out?
Well, communication is big. If you're going to have somebody come and pressure clean your patio, for example, it's a good idea to let me know so that I can prepare to spend extra time cleaning your pool. Just keeping things easier for me so that I don't fall in. Keep your toys out of the pool, especially if they're at the bottom, because then I vacuum them and it stops my vacuum and it costs me time.
So when someone pressure washes the deck,
Or the roof.
The roof.
Or the screen.
Huh.
Any pressure washing, really.
Any pressure washer? It's just kind of a magnet. It just goes right into the pool.
Yeah, and people will be like, oh, I tried to tell him to not get it in the pool. It's going in the pool. There's really nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So just give me a heads up. Give your pool guy a heads up. Hey, we're going to be pressure washing. And then a lot of the times, too, if you let them know first, then you won't get hit with an extra cleanup charge because they didn't get surprised.
I walked into a backyard once where there was a crew there cutting down or trimming back a tree, which I was very happy about, but they did get like half of the tree in the pool. Mm-hmm. So I walked up to the pool and I'm like, hey, there's a tree in this pool. I obviously am not going to be able to clean this. You guys are going to get this out, right? So yeah, that was a big issue. Do you have any homeowners that go out there and just do weird stuff to your pool, like between visits, that you have to fix?
Not since I started my own company, because I get to be kind of picky about who my customers are. But when I worked for a different company and I was doing someone else's pools, I would have all kinds of weird stuff. I had a guy that tried heating his pool by using every single viral internet technique that showed up. He did the garbage bag thing. He did the, he even rigged up a black tubing. He had a whole, he had a piece of plywood and he had it all coiled up and stapled, like strapped down. And then he had it hooked up to the return in his spa and it was dripping into the pool. I had to step over it and try not to knock it into the pool. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff.
But the internet is always right, isn't it?
You know, the whole magic eraser thing came from the internet. So this is what your group is about. This is why I enjoy being a part of it, is to help people, like you were saying with Rudy's interview, get the correct answer, get the correct procedure. You're not going to be throwing garbage bags into your pool to try and heat it up a degree, you know.
That doesn't work, in case anybody is out there wondering. There are viable heating answers, but you're not going to do it with a $5 box of garbage bags.
No. Or black tubing that you coil.
Black tubing. You probably could do that, but you would have to get miles of that black tubing.
And you would have to have it like in the sun constantly. I mean, like he had landscape. It's just funny.
It would cost you more to set up a ghetto rig to heat your pool than it would just to actually buy
a heater.
buy heaters and run them. Now, do you guys have many heaters in Florida?
Yeah, we have all the regular kinds. Heat pumps are pretty big down here. So I usually see more heat pumps than the regular electric heaters, and then I would say gas heat pumps and then gas heaters. A lot of the commercials have gas heaters.
Gotcha. We have very few heat pumps in our area, mainly because they just don't work as well in our climate.
I was going to say because they need the heat from the air to work.
Yeah, so a heat pump needs the ambient air temperature to be, I believe it's 55 degrees and above, and then it can only heat 20 degrees above the ambient air temperature. So obviously, when it's, 50, 60 degrees out and you want to get in your hot tub, you're not going to be sitting there having fun with a glass of wine, and you shouldn't have glass in your pool. It should be
or TVs.
Or TVs. It should be something plastic. We'll touch on that in a second.
Did you see that?
Yeah, totally did. So you're not going to be enjoying your hot tub when it's only 80 degrees. Well, maybe you would. I like mine to be about 101, 102. So what Andrea just talked about, and this is another safety deal, and we talk a lot in our group, a lot on this podcast about safety. Safety is kind of like our number one deal. And people will get mad at us because we'll decline their post or we'll make a comment and then turn off comments.
Or turn off comments.
So people don't keep, posting stupid stuff that's going to cause a safety issue. But the other day, someone posted that a TV fell in their hot tub, and they're like, "Why am I not dead?" Yeah. I'm like, "Because God was watching out for you."
For real.
And I would say that is a safety deal that should have been taken care of at the install of the TV, because I've got TVs in my house that are mounted to the walls, and my kids could jump up on them and hang off of them and not take them off the wall.
Right.
They'd probably ruin my TV, and I'd have to tear that rear end up. Do you see many people with electronics like wired next to their pool?
No, I have not. Well, actually, let me change that answer. Yes, those lights, the string lights.
Oh.
I have a lot of people with those that are directly over the water surface. I knock into them with my equipment and poles and stuff. It's a little frustrating for me.
That's not legal, is it?
I'm not 100%. I know it has to be, they can't be over the water surface, and they have to be connected to a GFCI. something like that. One of those two.
You're close. That's
Gram-
good.
Something. Yeah. So, but you can. They're just not supposed to be directly over the water, which
Yeah.
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, it's not legal in my
Pretty.
my state.
Looks awesome.
It
but
is pretty, but it is not legal. And it's a safety hazard because what if the wind comes and knocks one of those in? Well, now you have basically an extension cord with a bunch of openings in your pool.
And not only that, but if they're super close to the water surface, like I said, I've knocked them with my pole, and I actually had a customer whose kids broke a couple of the bulbs, and the bulbs went into the pool.
Ah, glass in the pool.
Yes. So I don't know if the new ones that they have, I don't know if those bulbs are glass or not.
There are two. There are incandescent bulbs, which are made of glass, and surprisingly, there are still a lot of string lights with incandescent bulbs. Now, the LED bulbs, those are plastic, but the incandescent bulbs have to be glass because of how they're made.
They get hot.
Yeah, they get hot. And what part of Florida does your company serve?
I am southeastern Florida. So I am about above West Palm Beach.
What's the name
Of?
your company?
Oh, Hibiscus Pool and Spa. Duh. Like what?
If somebody wanted to get in contact with you and they are in that area, I'm sorry, what was the area again? Like city?
Like Jupiter, West Palm, Palm Beach Gardens.
Jupiter. You serve all the way out to Jupiter? How do you get there?
Yeah.
Spaceship?
Yep.
Okay, good. How would they get in contact with Andrea? Hibiscus Pools, just service their pool.
Well, my Facebook page is probably the best way. Hibiscus Pools. It's Hibiscus Pool and Spa on Facebook. It's Hibiscus Pools on Instagram. Those are the best way. I'm always on that.
Excellent. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you think that we should talk about?
No, I don't think so. Covered the hurricanes and stuff because that's going to be coming up again pretty soon. And just like what you were saying with the stuff with pressure cleaning and all that stuff too, going back to that, leaving all that stuff on your surface can cause stains. So that's another reason to let us know quickly if you do that.
I had last year, somebody was building an extra outdoor living area, and the builder literally put a 4x4 or like an 8x8 in the pool to help temporarily support the beams until they got it all built. And there was a bunch of nails that were in this thing, so rust went everywhere. And I'm like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I can do. Thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.